For the wet on dry, I wanted to show you something about your watercolor palette that you may know or you may not know. But you can use, the reason that there's little sections up here at the top of your palette is so that you can make new colors. As you see, I have some colors that I've made in the past and I've allowed it to dry because I can use those colors again. But basically, to use these colors, to use the palette, you want to drop some water into those little spaces, and then you can mix colors in those places by dropping some color in there. So I'm going to make some more of this yellow green by mixing this yellow green together right up here. And then I can use this color just as it is on my actual painting. And if I let it dry later, I can go back and use it by just rehydrating it with more water. So I have my yellow green there. So this one is for wet on dry. The wet on dry technique means that your paper should be dry before you put the paint in. So my paper is totally dry. Now I'm going to come in and use the color that I just made and paint that directly on the space. For this one, you see how the color is not running? With watercolors, the color will only go where the wet space is. So for the wet on dry, you're creating the wet space with a little bit more control of where your color goes. If the color is not as bright or as strong as you want it, you can, of course, go back with the same color and layer more of that color in. But this is a way to have more of a flat color to your pieces. So with the wet on dry, you can have more of a flat color. If you wanted to add another color in, yes, you can, and then it would look more like the wet on wet techniques. But if you want more flat color, this is the way to go. And if this color is not strong enough, you can always, once it's dry, go back and layer more color over it from the color that you created.